Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on RTL, SDR, and MATLAB. So I wanted to show you how I was able to scan with the RTL and pull off a list of frequencies instead of looking at each frequency individually. This kind of automates it and makes it easier for you to pull all the frequencies in each scan. So the book that I'm using today is this book. It's called Software Defined Radio, MATLAB and Simulink RTL SDR. And it's written by Bob Stewart, Kenneth Barley, Dale Atkinson, and Lewis Crockett. So I've kind of gone through the book and it has a chapter in here for how to scan. So that's what we're going to be going through today. So what else you need a RTL. You don't really need this unless you run out of USB ports. You need the RTL SDR, which is this. And then I have mine hooked to a coaxial that's hooked to a really long antenna, but here's the antenna. Okay, so you're going to plug this into your USB. And if you haven't downloaded SDR Sharp, you can have another video on that, how to download it for your SDR. But today we're going to be using the RTL SDR in MATLAB. So that's what we're going to focus on. So you can go ahead and plug in your RTL if you want to go ahead and plug that in. And I'm just going to go through this book and pull up the link for the software package that we're going to be using because they actually provide it for you. So let me go ahead and find that. It might take me a minute, so I'm sorry. Hopefully that's the power of editing and we're already here in MATLAB. Now this is the website. So let's go to download. So the book that I'm using, you can download for free right here. You don't have to buy it. So I would recommend downloading it for free here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download the book and the support files. Oh, zip format, that's what I want. I don't know which one that took me to, so I'm going to cancel it and click it again. Okay, I'm going to click download at the top. So that downloaded. Or it's downloading now. So that might take a while. So in their software, they have a program that they've written that will allow you to use the RTL and scan for all the frequencies. So that was really my favorite one. But now that I know that I want to be able to demodulate the signals that are coming in the microwave band and extract the ELF signals for analysis to see which ones are neural stimulation, because that's the goal. I should be able to use the RTL and be able to do that. So that's really the goal. But I want to be able to show you guys how to do it. And so you can do your own research too if you're interested in it. Oh, I forgot you can actually use multiple SDRs. So that's why I had this. I forgot. That's why I had two of them hooked up. And you can scan with two at one time. So that's why I had it hooked up. I forgot. And that's on in chapter 3. If you download the book, you can read about it in chapter 3. So it allows you to use two. So that might be interesting. Really, the hardest part about being able to collect all the data is analyzing it and just processing the signals. And that's something that I'm not really familiar with. I'm not great at signal processing. It's easy to capture the data. I mean, you can capture as much data as you want, but if you don't know how to analyze it or, you know what you're looking for, then it's no value. So that's why we're trying to use MATLAB and get better at analysis, and because that's really what we're looking for, to be able to put it to use to application for an application that will provide, you know, some relief in some form. Okay, here it is. It's chapter 3. It's 3.13 and it's called Sweeping the Spectrum. Receiving from 25 megahertz to 1.75 gigahertz. So it performs a frequency sweep with the RTL to receive all of the signals transmitted in the operating range of its tuner. So it pulls in everything that's, broadcasting that it can get in range of it. And it's the range from 25 megahertz to 1.75 gigahertz. So it's on page 89 if you have the paper book. So that's what I wanted to get to today, because I want to be able to export that and then use that as the file to pull the ELF from. Okay, so here we can extract that. I probably should change that and put it in a folder of its own. Okay, now you have your files. You don't really need to get to them from here. Go ahead and close that out. We're going to open it from MATLAB. So that's all you really needed from the website. You got the book. Yeah, here's the book. So the book's in PDF. So you just click on the little Adobe file and it'll pop up. So let me see what page. Let's see if we can find it in the digital version for you guys. It should be the same. Okay, I'm going to click on number 3. So this is what we're going for. This one, okay, page 91. 90 and 91. Okay. Okay, so we open MATLAB. We're going to go to start Simulink, which is this up here. I think. From there, we go to says Simulink library button and the MATLAB ribbon at the top. We need Simulink library browser. Oh, we don't want a blank library. I didn't mean to do that. Well, that took me to the library browser. Okay, there we go. That's where we wanted to be. We can close that. and open that other back up. Okay, from there, once you click that, we're gonna go, it says click on the Communication System Toolbox Support Package. Okay, so that's this one. So then you click on that and then you can see your little RTL block right there. Okay. Hitting my back really bad. If you don't see that, then you can type setup SDRR in the, so if you don't see that, then you can, here, you can type in setup SDRR here. That's what it said. I don't know how that's supposed to help because I didn't do anything in mine. No, I didn't do anything in there, so I don't know how that would help. This says it's in there, so I don't know. Oops. It's showing that that support package is in there, so. But when I hit the, when I typed in SDR, setup SDRR, I don't know why it's not running. Okay, it opens with SDR doc. So you can install it by typing in SDR doc if it doesn't recognize setup SDRR. So you would click on install and setup, install support package. So then you could go here. Let's just go ahead and go through these steps to make sure. Home tab in the environment section, then click add-ons, which is here, these three little blocks right here. Click that. And then it says get hardware support packages. Okay, so then you're going to click that. Okay. Select the support package, then click install. During support package installation, you'll be prompted to install drivers needed for the RTL. So let's see. Oops. Okay, so here's our add-on. So it has a bunch. It has some for Arduino. So if you wanted to work with Arduino, you can install the package here for that. There's a SDR Pluto. I've been looking at that. That looks really good. Pluto actually has a lot of beamforming stuff you can use for beamforming development and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to type in RTL at the top and see. So here it is. It would be the first one that comes up, Communications Toolbox Support Package. So just click that. And then I guess it would have an install here because mine's already installed. So let's hit Manage. Mine says installed. Okay. Let's do a connection, test connection. Okay, so it's working. So that is good to go through and just test the connection anyway. So then you're going to hit next. Finish. Okay. So this has, let's close the add-ons because we're done with that. I'm closing the add-on. Okay, let's go ahead and it's got a lot of different models so you can kind of play around with if you want to, you know, read them all and see. You can track airplanes and do different all kinds of signal analysis with whatever. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to be doing is chapter 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that. Now that we have our RTL set up and we know that it works in MATLAB, we can move on to what we want to use it for. You should really try to go through this entire book because it just is a wealth of information and how to use it and get you comfortable with using your SDR in MATLAB. It's a great way to analyze signals, and you should try to go through each one. I think I got up to like chapter 10, and so I haven't finished the book either, but it's really worth it. I'm gonna try to keep going and finish the book. I haven't finished it yet. Okay, so in chapter 3, sweeping the spectrum, receiving the signals, it tells you to open MATLAB, set the working directory to the exercise folder. So we're gonna open the files that we just downloaded. So as long as you know where that is, you should be okay. So if you did it like me, then you downloaded it and then it extracted the file to the downloads folder in the same name. I go to open and click open, downloads, and then the folder you just extracted, you're gonna go to Spectrum, Sweep, and then you're gonna open that. Let's go back because I think I went too far. Okay, open. Nope. Okay, RTL SDR, and then that was right. RX spec sweep.m. So choose this one. Hopefully you can see that. RTL SDR underscore RX underscore spec sweep.m. Okay, open that file. Okay. It says to examine the parameters. There are a number of different parameters listed at the top of the RTL SDR RX spectrum sweep function. These are used to configure features such as the start and stop frequencies of the sweep and also to configure the RTL SDR. So when you're looking at 25, e to the 6 means that is 25 megahertz, okay? Because that's the range of our SDR, so that's what this one is in this. Their starting frequency is going to be at 25 megahertz. So if you want to really zero in on a range, you can. So you would just change those parameters right there. So you could start it, at the end of your frequency. I mean, you could, say you want to go from 1 gigahertz to 1.7 gigahertz because you think, you've seen that on the spectrum analyzer before and you want to get closer to that range. You would change that to, you know, 1000 E6 to, leave it to its final range, 1750 E6. So it says change the location to match your location, but you don't really have to do that. It just is, it says it just affects the title and file name of the spectrum produced after the sweep is complete. You can do that for your records. I mean, that's fine. I can change it. I'm gonna put Texas. Okay, so that one really doesn't really affect anything. That's just for records keep. So, so once you go through the parameters of, I mean, you should be okay. So these are all the ones that this program runs off of. It's configured by default to sample at 2.8 megahertz on both both the I and Q channels. So that means the signal received in the MATLAB code will have an information bandwidth of 2.8 megahertz. Okay, so you can kind of go through and see what it says. I mean, it's got the comments in there of what each parameter is, so it's pretty self-explanatory, and the book tells you, goes through it pretty well. So, okay, but we're gonna go ahead and run the script. So, run the script by pressing run on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and add to path. Okay, there it goes. So it's showing up in the bottom. Let me go ahead and... So these are all the frequencies it's pulling from my antenna over here. Probably shouldn't have moved it, but I did just now. So you see how much faster that is. I mean, if you wanted to extract data, you don't want to write down each signal from a spectrum analyzer. I mean, if you have a digital one, then you can export it from your real-time spectrum analyzer, but I don't have one of those. So I haven't spent the money on one. So this is the $20 version of that. A lot cheaper than spending $5,000 or $6,000 on a 6G real-time spectrum analyzer. So this is what we're working with. So that's how you scan with your SDR and extract all the frequencies. You see it's going to keep going until it gets to 1.7 gigahertz. So, and then you can click run again and it'll extract the signals again and see how it changes from that time to the next. And you could probably time each, scan and you'll know the time, you know, variations of each. And then hopefully the next on the list is to extract the demodulated ELF, so that's what I'm going to try to do next. So, but anyway, I hope that gets you started on how to scan. So I'm going to go ahead and let you see. Hopefully it'll show you once it gets complete here, and then we'll these are the signals that are near me, so it'll be interesting to see, like, once it gets done. So that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of frequencies in that range that it's pulling right now. I might try to see if there's a way to modify this script and see if I can pull even more data from it. I don't know. That'd be interesting to try to do as well. I think before when I was scanning, it was pulling it up in a different file. So I think if I would have change folder, it would have pulled it up in a different file. I'm not real sure on how to save it yet. So maybe we can go through that next. If we can extract it to a file. It says it will continue to execute until it has received enough information to show you all the spectral activity in the range you specified. This can take a long time, up to 10 minutes, and may take significantly longer if your computer does not have a large amount of RAM. If you wish to cancel the script execution before it has finished, you hit Control C. If you do cancel the script before it is finished, the figure will not populate with progress to date. You will only see results when you let it run its course and complete the sweep. When it finishes executing, the Spectrum Analyzer figure window should appear. And graphical representations of all the spectral activity in your area should be plotted onto two axes. You may need to maximize the window to allow the axes and figure titles to display correctly. So this is all the frequencies it just pulled from that scan. Let's go ahead and so you can see I have a lot of activity. So you should be able to save this. So you go up here and I'll just go File, Save As. Let's go. I'm going to tap the date 04/30/2023 EW Spectrum Sweep. And that's going to save in, let's go MATLAB, and let's go new folder, and let's go Spectrum Sweeps, and I'll save it in that. Okay, so that's saved. So I think it'll let you click on the graph. So that's at 700 megahertz. So that's almost 1 gigahertz. This is at 1 gigahertz. You can see the signals. I'm not really sure how to read the representation of the power ratio. So why it's negative decibels, I forgot. I know that answer, but I forgot. Um, I'll have to revisit that. I just went over that data the other day. I don't know if I have that in here. I don't think I do. I don't think I wrote it down. Okay, I'll have to look that up later, like the power ratios and all that. But anyway, you can see how to sweep, so you can start sweeping. And hopefully in the next video, I'll be doing another signal analysis video in MATLAB. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.